With the Detroit Lions season officially over for 2024, the Detroit Lions got right into it, got right to work for the 2025 season that begins in approximately 6 weeks. Believe it or not, on March 10th, 2025, which is right around 6 weeks from now, we will officially be in the 2025 NFL season. The Super Bowl will be long over a month, and everybody will be back to square one. And the waiver priority wire still kind of sucks because we will be in last place when it comes to that. But the Detroit Lions decided to lock up 11 players on future reserve contracts, and here are those 11. Brought back Abraham Beauplan, Kingsley, Jake Fromm, Deron Gilbert, Eric Hallett, Jamarco Jones, Isaac Uku, STO, Stanley Thomas Oliver, Lauren Strickland, Chris Smith, and good old reliable Tom Kennedy, a.k.a. TK85. Now, what exactly is a future reserve contract? Says it's the same, coming from Bleacher Report, it's the same as a regular active roster contract with the regular rules for minimum veteran salaries, cap charges, signing bonuses, etc. The only difference is that it doesn't take effect until the start of the next league year. This year is on March 11th. Now, this year, this was in 2024. This is an article from then, but it remains the same. The date is just one day earlier, March 10th, 2025. Teams can sign players to future contracts as soon as the previous regular season is over, but the contract won't count against the salary cap or 53-man limit. Instead, it counts against the salary cap and 90-man camp limit the following season. In the meantime, the player goes on the future reserves list and can't be signed by any other team. Now, who's eligible for that? Any player who wasn't on an active roster at the end of the outgoing regular season. So if a player was an unrestricted free agent or on any team's practice squad after week 17, they can be signed to a futures contract. So the Detroit Lions decided to bring back basically 11 members that were on the practice squad. I don't believe any of those individuals there, well, no, they weren't, because they weren't on the active roster. Yeah, none of those guys were on the active roster. I know we elevated a couple people. We had signed Tom Kennedy to the active roster once before. We waived him, but at the end of the season, he wasn't on the roster. And the Detroit Lions made sure that nobody can come get those 11 individuals. And it's going to be curious to see. So they don't count. They didn't take out us over the limit, and they were able to go on future reserves toward that 90-man limit for next season. Now, one thing I love, it sucks to be in the offseason, but there is a plus to it. The offseason is an exciting time. Now, I was hoping that we got to see what it would feel like for unprecedented territory. Here's what I mean. The Lions have, we know what losing feels like. We know what a non-winning season feels like. We know what the first pick in the draft feels like. We know what a regular kind of non-playoff team feels like, eliminated early, the whole thing. We know what that feels like. But what we don't know how that feels is to make a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. And I was looking and asking myself, what would the offseason been like if we would have won a Super Bowl? And now, unfortunately, I have to wait a little while longer. So the cool thing about the offseason is, even though the new league year hasn't officially started, the Detroit Lions can re-sign their own players. Guys that are free agents that on the beginning of the new league year, they will be able to sign with another team, or a few days before the official start of the new league year, they can be tampered with and agreements can be made by agents and other players. But the Detroit Lions can get a head start to that, and, other teams as well. So we talked about it the other day. We got 33 unrestricted free agents of sorts, and we can bring those guys back if we wanted to. Ife Melifonwu, Derek Barnes. We've got Carlton Davis. So we can do all of that. And although it sucks that we're not playing for the Lombardi this year, we can kind of see by moves like this what our 90-man roster is going to look like. We can kind of get an idea. One of the questions that we're looking for is Carlton Davis. Will we bring him back? Is he worth bringing back? We looked at the video from the other day. SpotTrack has him at $41 million, a little over $13 million a year. Is Carlton Davis worth that much money? Would you sign Carlton? I believe he's 28, 29. Would you sign him? I don't think that Brad Holmes, I don't know, man. We signed Cam Sutton to a 3-year, $33 million deal. I could see Brad Holmes doing it. But the question I have for you is, do you think in the short time that Carlton Davis was here, has he earned a contract? Then you got somebody like Ife Melifonwu. I don't know. He's everything that Brad wants him to be. The problem is he can't stay healthy. He had a breakout year in 2023 and just could not stay healthy. Went on IR twice. Then you have Derek Barnes. He was in a contract year. I think he was playing decently before he got hurt, and this season wind up being over. He never came back. So the Lions are going to have some decisions to make, but one thing that is very clear is that they value these 11 players enough to make sure that no other team could get their hands on them. So before you know it, it'll be the combine, and we'll be talking about the 2025 NFL season. Just a couple of dates that kind of sucks again, man, because we are in off-season mode and we still should be playing. Right now, we're dealing with divisional playoff games. Those are over. Then we have the NFC, AFC. The Shrine Bowl is January 30th. And I actually have news that Denver Broncos Syndicate has gotten credentialed, and I've been meaning to shout him out for a while. He's got credentialed for this game. So the Syndicate is coming up, man. It really is. So shout out to Broncos Syndicate. And then February gets here. You've got the Senior Bowl, the Pro Bowl games. But here's where it gets interesting to me. This, to me, is when everything it ends, right? And February 18th is when we can start talking about franchise tags. We're not going to franchise tag anybody on this team. Then we've got the scouting combine, which I am considering going to a few of those days. I don't know. That's still winter, but it's kind of turning into spring soon thereafter. And Lucas Oil Stadium is not a bad drive at all. I probably would go 1 or 2 days, maybe even stay down there. But this is what I'm looking for right here. This is the deadline to franchise tag players. And here we go with the tampering period. We'll start right here on the March the 10th is when that begins. And here's the first. Oh, so I was wrong. The first day of the new league year is the day after, which is March 12th. So before you know it, and I would say, what is that, about 7-8 weeks, man, we will be talking about, man, it still hurts. It still hurts, but it is what it is, man. We've got to push forward. So I'm excited about it. Let me know about those 11 players on future reserve contracts. Before you know, by the time free agency begins, one thing the Detroit Lions have done is whoever they're going to bring back from our team currently will already be on our team by the time free agency starts. Before you know it, it'll be Super Bowl Sunday. I know it hurts, but it'll be Super Bowl Sunday. You'll blink your eye, and it'll be March. And then we can officially, you've got free agency, you've got the draft, and then we'll be talking about how hot it is and air conditioners will be on. So, again, it sucks. We don't know what it feels like to be celebrating a Super Bowl. I was hoping that this was the year of that being the case, but no, unfortunately. And it still hurts. It's going to take some time. But as usual, Lions fans, we'll get through it. One day, just hopefully it's before I die. Right? Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you guys are real Detroit Lions fans, so you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.